All right, guys, so in this video, Matt is going to spill all the juicy details of all the crazy guest stories that he's had renting Myrtle Beach Oceanfront Condos, those short-term vacation rentals right here at the sand dunes and a handful of the other resorts in our market. He's going to tell you every crazy story that you've ever wanted to hear and every nightmare guest, and also how he beats Airbnb and the guest from cheating him out of his well-earned money. Before we leave, I just want you to see this view, guys. Look at that. Look at this massive balcony. Leads also into the master. Check out that view. Sand Dunes Resort. That looks pretty cool. Beachfront kitchen and bar.
Specials.
Hey, what's up? Beachfront. All right, guys, let's get in 904. Now we have Matt Fries here. As you can see, he is tearing apart his unit, but all for good stuff. Check this out. So, Matt, take me to school on what I've caught you doing in here.
Oh, so basically, I came down here yesterday morning, pulled up all the carpet, threw down some LVP. Now I'm just putting up the finishing trim to finish things out in this room, and then tomorrow morning I'll start on this room. This is how the room looked before. I mean, it's a mess, but it was just ugly, dark carpet. It brightens the room up a whole lot.
Yeah, you can see if you look between that carpet and that room right there, man. And then you also put LVP flooring in the living room.
Yeah. So I came in here on a Monday, ripped up the carpet. By Tuesday afternoon, I was done with the LVP through here, and then Tuesday afternoon, I decided to put in a fireplace.
Yeah, that's a nice wall right there, buddy.
Thank you.
Nice accent wall.
I knocked that out in about 4 hours.
Really?
Yeah. So all of this was done in 24 hours with the carpet and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing the transformation you can make that fast.
Oh yeah. No, because the dark carpet really makes a difference. Now this really pops, especially for the pictures, because you can see right out to the beach. You can look at the fireplace. This helps in off-season rentals for sure.
Really?
Oh yeah, because people want a fireplace in off-season.
Oh, that's right.
Where else is Santa Claus supposed to come?
Yeah, exactly. So so I've noticed that you've had a consistent theme throughout your units where you're doing the fireplace and the flat screen on the accent wall. Mm-hmm. You've obviously got the cool picture back here and the LVP flooring. I mean, is this the secret sauce?
It definitely helps. Updating your unit. A couple years ago, I would have said, hey, leave it the way it is. But now people want updated units.
The market's changed.
It has changed.
Yeah, people have bougie taste.
Yes, and they can now. Yeah. Like because before all these units were outdated. All of them were outdated. Now people want an updated unit.
They're coming in, they're buying them up, they're remodeling them, and they're putting them on Airbnb.
That's right.
And it works. All right, guys, they do have a breakfast buffet, as you can see here. We're going to grab lunch. Now, this is the bar, and I'm meeting Matt right here outside. All right, guys, this is the view from Matt Fries' unit right here on the balcony. That is River City, the restaurant. You can see the pools and the lazy river. All right, guys, so we're heading over to the on-site resort here restaurant to grab a bite to eat. Matt says it's absolutely amazing there, so I'm going to take his word for it. What's it called?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a second.
We'll find out in a minute. How do you do it? Like, how do you stop them from taking advantage of it?
So, I do try to feel out each guest individually, because sometimes you can feel if the guests are just, if they don't, like if it's a Labor Day weekend, they don't want to leave, right? They really don't want to leave. They're complaining because they want money back. And so a lot of times on Labor Day weekend, like I'll pull up and say, there's nothing else available. They got a really good deal. No, like basically,
I'm not giving you a discount.
No, if you want to go, here's what I'll do a lot of times. If you would like to cancel your reservations and leave and go find something else, I will refund you for what it rebooks for, right? You just held the unit up, right, until your booking day. You're not, I do everything I can. And so the biggest kicker is I try to please the guests, so right? And so a lot of times I say, okay, tell you what, I'm gonna get my maintenance guy out and I'm gonna get the cleaners out. Tell them what you want them to do. And a lot of times they're like, well, I don't want to be interrupted. In reality, that's not what they want. They don't want me to fix the issue. They don't want the issue.
They just want their money.
They want free stay. And so, like, you got to feel out the guests and figure out, are they just trying to get a free stay? A lot of times they don't want to leave. So a lot of times I give them the option. If I can tell that really they don't want to leave, they just want money, I'll give them the option to cancel, go find somewhere else to stay. And a lot of times they don't. I explained to all of them, I believe in making things right, not refunding, right?
Yep.
And so I get the maintenance out there, I get the cleaners out there, and I don't care what it costs. Make them happy. I'd rather spend that money to fix all the issues that they point out.
Because then the next guest can't complain about
it.
And it's fixed.
Exactly.
So they try to work you.
Oh yeah, and that's this usually Labor Day till.
But why is it that time of year?
Because people want a deal. They're coming here because they want a deal, and then they want a better deal than the deal they got, and
Dude, that's nuts, man.
Yeah.
They got nothing better to do than whittle the Airbnb host out of cash.
You know, and it's not just here. I'm on Airbnb groups. It's everyone. There now the investment. I mean the complaint season varies, right? But it's the same thing across the board. Like I saw somebody the other day said that they were trying to get a refund they were trying to get a discount because of the spirits in the place was possessed, and so like apparently the spirits were ringing bells that were on the shelf, and so they didn't want to leave, they just want a partial refund.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so they would try to use any kind of excuse.
They said they had to go spend money on sage, and sage is a place to get rid of the spirits.
Okay, so I have to backtrack for a second. You had a guest take 50 pictures and send them into Airbnb?
Oh yeah. I mean,
like 50?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's it. What sucks when they do that is like you can't respond because it's like ding 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 ding, and it just keeps popping up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what they do. They try. I had a guest on Labor Day weekend. She wanted a partial refund because they had bugs. They South Carolina has palmetto bugs, right?
Yes.
They saw 2 palmetto bugs, one on the hallway on the way into the door,
okay,
and one was on the balcony, and so they want a refund for those 2 bugs.
But it wasn't in the unit.
No.
I mean, and they literally called you on the phone, like you had a conversation. They said that.
Oh yeah, they reached out to Airbnb trying to get a partial refund. I pointed out to Airbnb that these bugs are not inside my unit.
They're not inside the unit.
And this isn't the first time it happened. I had a guy over at Monterey Bay. He actually complained. So he had 2 complaints, well 3. One, he could smell marijuana when he was out at the pool. I mean,
it's a tourist location.
It's a melting pot.
I mean,
right?
like we can't control what people do at the pool.
He saw palmetto bugs down by the pool. Well, he saw roaches, but he sent pictures there. Palmetto bugs, which palmetto bugs are roaches. They're outdoor roaches. They don't even want to be inside. But you can't treat all of Myrtle Beach or all of South Carolina.
I get it.
And then his third complaint, which I understand, that I just had this unit remodeled, and I had a company come in and scrape the popcorn. Some of the popcorn fell into the AC unit, and you could see it inside on the top, which the cleaners couldn't get to. And he said there was a possibility that there was asbestos in there, which the building was built in 2000. So there's no asbestos in there. But
dude, you got to be kidding me.
So I offered that maintenance come clean that out, but there's nothing I could do about I told him I'd call the building maintenance see if they can find out who's smoking weed. And about the palmetto bugs, there's nothing I could do. He demanded a full refund.
He didn't get it though, right?
No. Yeah. That's because he didn't want to leave. He wanted to stay.
So basically, your policy is when you have all these complaints that come in, hey, listen, I'll fix it, or you can go somewhere else.
Right.
But you won't stay for free.
Right. No. And most of the time, at that point, if they go stay somewhere else, like, you know, I'm trying to make things right. So, I will only refund you what it rebooks for.
Yeah.
But
yeah. Now, when you say rebooks for, in other words, when the next guest checks in, that's what I'll give you back.
Yeah. So, like, literally, like,
so if you booked for $650 and the next guest books for $500, you're only getting $500 back.
Right. I think that's a fair thing to do. I had a lot of mad guests during the hurricane. So I have in my listing. I highly travel. This is a business, right? And so I have in my listings. Things can happen. I highly recommend the travel insurance. Especially when traveling during the hurricane season, right?
No doubt, yeah.
So I have it in my listing. I have it in my pre-check-in email. When the hurricane came, 50% of my guests had travel insurance. The other 50 didn't. The problem is, what they said was, the travel insurance could take a couple weeks to get the funds back, right? So it would be easier for me to just refund them.
Airbnb said that to you, or the guests?
Both were calling me during the hurricane saying that. But the thing is, that was $16,000. If all the bookings, if I refunded for everyone that asked for a refund, that was $16,000 for that, right? Why is it fair to me, right, when I highly recommend travel insurance, right?
And you didn't take it.
And half of them took it, but they didn't want to file it, and the other half didn't take it.
So that's not your fault.
Right.
So a trick of the trade is to make sure that you recommend it in your listing.
Oh yeah. I make sure recommended, and I stick to that, because again, I'm running a business. I can't just eat $16,000 because of a hurricane.
Yeah, exactly. So if you had to give somebody a handful of tips on the best tricks and tips for how to manage their business well, obviously that's one right there. We're talking about making sure you're putting in the listing, get travel insurance. Your host, am telling you to get it.
Right.
What are the other little ins and outs like that you do that kind of safeguards you?
Well, besides that, I do try to kill everyone kindness. I try to get as many great reviews as possible. So occasionally, when you have the crazy person that is, I realized before I got into this, I used to DJ years ago, and I realized you can't please everyone. It's impossible to please everyone.
Okay.
So as long as you focus on pleasing the 90%, occasionally you're going to have that person that you just can't please. And at that point, you say, at this point moving forward, I want you to communicate through Airbnb.